Hello, dear listener. Welcome back to another episode of The Gentle Path. It's always such a pleasure to sit down with you, even if it's just through the airwaves. So, let's take a moment to settle in, shall we? Maybe you've got a warm cup of tea or a cozy chair to sink into. However you're joining me today, I'm grateful you're here. You know, life after 60 is an extraordinary stage. It's a time where we're often given the opportunity to rewrite our priorities, reimagine our routines, and refocus on the things that truly matter. But the reality is, this chapter can feel as overwhelming as it is beautiful. Some of us find this newfound freedom exhilarating, full of possibilities, while others feel a bit adrift, unsure how to make sense of this new rhythm. Take heart, because today we're going to talk about 5 things. 5 pillars, really, that can help anchor you in these years ahead. These ideas aren't just abstract ideals. They're practical, meaningful steps that can make every single day feel brighter, fuller, and more intentional. So let's start with the foundation, a sense of purpose. Let me ask you, how do you greet your mornings these days? Do you spring out of bed with excitement, knowing the day holds something meaningful for you? Or has it become harder to find that spark, that something to look forward to? You're not alone if you felt the latter. Many folks experience this after retirement or when their roles shift within their families. But here's the thing. Purpose isn't about staying busy for the sake of it. It's about finding something that makes you feel needed, valued, and alive. Research from the National Institute on Aging indicates that having a strong sense of purpose can not only enrich your mental outlook, but also contribute to your physical health by reducing stress and even lowering the risk of chronic conditions. And that makes sense, doesn't it? When you know why you're getting up every day, it has a way of energizing the mind, body, and spirit. I think about Richard, a man I knew who had spent decades in a fast-paced career. Retirement was supposed to be his golden ticket to relaxation, but within months, he found himself feeling restless and unmotivated. Then one day, he started mentoring young professionals. It wasn't about replicating his old career. It was about sharing his knowledge and staying connected to something bigger than himself. That decision gave him back his spark, and it reminded me how purpose doesn't have to be grand to be meaningful. Whether it's gardening, painting, writing, or helping others, purpose can take many forms, but it's essential. Now, another pillar we can't overlook is connection. Humans are wired for community, and yet so many of us find ourselves feeling more isolated as we age. Maybe friends have moved away, or family members are busy living their own lives. It happens to so many of us. But if you're spending more time alone than you want to, know that that sense of disconnection doesn't have to be permanent. I remember reading a study that really stuck with me, conducted by researchers at Brigham Young University. They found that loneliness can be as damaging to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Imagine that. It reinforces what many of us already suspect deep down. That connection isn't just a luxury, it's truly a lifeline. Take Margaret, for example. After losing her spouse, she spent months mostly at home, convinced she was content in her solitude. But over time, she noticed she wasn't laughing as much. Even her favorite hobbies started to lose their luster. One day, she joined a local walking group. Just a small step, but it changed everything. Little by little, she found herself forming bonds, sharing stories, and rediscovering the joy of companionship. It doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes all it takes is making the first move, calling an old friend, joining a class, or saying hello to a neighbor. On to our third pillar, taking care of our physical strength and mobility. Let's be honest. It's tempting to think, well, getting slower or weaker is just part of aging. But in reality, much of the physical decline we associate with age comes from inactivity, not inevitability. And let me tell you, your body still loves to move, no matter what age you are. The World Health Organization strongly advocates for regular physical activity among older adults, emphasizing how it improves not only physical health, but also mental sharpness and emotional well-being. The beauty is, it doesn't take an intense regimen to see benefits. Walking, gentle stretching, or even a bit of strength training can work wonders over time. I think of Paul, who realized one day that everyday tasks, like getting out of a chair, were becoming harder for him. That awareness prompted him to start small, a few squats here, a walk around the block there. Before long, not only did his physical strength improve, but his confidence did too. Sometimes reclaiming our independence starts with the simplest of movements. Now let's talk about one of the tougher realities after 60, financial stability. Money might not buy happiness, but if we are honest, it's hard to feel at peace when financial stress looms large. For many people, retirement can come with unexpected expenses, medical bills, home repairs, or other surprises. And that stress can weigh heavily, not just emotionally, but physically as well. In fact, the American Psychological Association notes that chronic financial stress can significantly increase the risk of heart disease and anxiety. So, how do we address this? Start with clarity. Take a careful look at your expenses and savings. Cut back where you can, even if it's something small like unused subscriptions. For some, taking on a part-time role or turning a hobby into a supplemental income stream can also help create both financial security and a renewed sense of purpose. The goal isn't just avoiding money worries, it's giving yourself the freedom to enjoy this time of life without constant anxiety. Finally, let's talk about the pillar that ties it all together: personal growth. You might think, well, I've learned what I need to learn. I've done what I needed to do. But here's the secret. It's never too late to grow, to explore, to stretch your mind. In fact, studies on brain health tell us that staying engaged and curious can have profound impacts on preventing conditions like dementia. Take Thomas, a retired engineer who thought his learning days were over. Then he signed up for a local woodworking class. What began as a casual hobby reignited his passion for creating. And beyond the joy of building furniture, he discovered something deeper, a renewed excitement for life itself. That's the power of curiosity. Growth doesn't have to mean grand gestures. It might be picking up a book you wouldn't normally read, learning a bit of a new language, or even trying a puzzle you find challenging. The point is to nurture a sense of wonder. When we stay curious, life has a way of feeling fresh and expansive, no matter our age. So there you have it. Purpose, connection, physical strength, financial stability, and growth. These are the keys, not just to surviving after 60, but to thriving. And what's beautiful is that it's never too late to bring these things into your life. Even small steps, like taking a short walk, making one phone call, or trying something new, can set powerful changes in motion. I'll leave you with this thought. Life doesn't stop at 60. In many ways, it's just beginning. So why not make it something remarkable? Thank you for sharing your time with me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one thing from today's conversation that spoke to you the most? Don't hesitate to share in the comments. Your stories mean so much to me. Until next time, take good care of your mind, your body, and your heart. This is The Gentle Path, and I'll talk to you again soon.